Zebra mussels, or Dreissena polymorpha, are one of the most well-known invasive species in the United States. According to the National Wildlife Federation, once zebra mussels have become established in a water body, they are impossible to fully eradicate. Scientists have not found solutions that kill zebra mussels without also harming other wildlife. Zebra mussels originated from the Caspian Sea in Eastern Europe and then invaded North America by traveling in the ballast water of ships. They were first discovered in Lake St. Clair and then in Lake Erie in 1988. Over the years, they have spread to 20 different states and Canada. Zebra mussels cause many problems in the ecosystems they invade. For example, in May of 1991, the first zebra mussels were found in the Hudson River, and by the following year, the population had reached about 500 billion. In 1994, just 3 years later, zebra mussels were outcompeting zooplankton and phytoplankton. The biomass of zooplankton fell by 50%, while the biomass of phytoplankton fell by 80%. This loss of phytoplankton caused a decline in shad, herring, and striped bass, and pearly mussels were almost completely wiped out. Zebra mussels also caused the water to become cleaner, resulting in increased sunlight reaching further depths. Aquatic plant growth increased by 40%, allowing the growth of sunfish and bass populations. Other species of fish, however, were forced to swim deeper to find habitat that was not touched by as much sunlight. Finally, the zebra mussel population consumed an excess of oxygen. The entire river's oxygen levels fell by 15%, which shifted the ecological community significantly. Zebra mussels are part of the phylum Mollusca and class Bivalvia. Like all bivalvia, they have an open circulatory system, and their mantle secretes their hard outer shell from the umbo. Adductor mussels keep the shell closed while they filter feed through their gills and labial palps. Zebra mussels are around 0.6 centimeters to 3.8 centimeters and have a D-shaped shell which is flattened on the ventral side. They use byssal threads extending from the foot to attach to their substrate. Their most distinctive feature is the striped yellow and brown pattern on their shell. Zebra mussels' energy processes and reproductive patterns are the two main factors that cause ecological disruption. By the end of their first year of growth, zebra mussels can reproduce. Females produce up to 500,000 eggs per year, which develop into larvae and so on. This type of population growth causes significant problems for other organisms because zebra mussels feed on phytoplankton. This reduces the amount of food that larval fish and other smaller and lower trophic level organisms can consume. Upper trophic level organisms are unable to obtain as much food due to the lower levels of organisms they prey on. It has become nearly impossible to eradicate zebra mussels due to their high reproduction levels and their ability to stick to many surfaces. However, a recent study by Jeffrey D. White and his team of scientists may have found a possible solution. They investigated the lethal temperatures of zebra mussels in Gull Lake, Michigan in 2 different tests. In 2010, there was a large die-off of zebra mussels in Gull Lake, Michigan after a very warm summer. In their observational tests, they watched the recovery of mussel colonies for 4 years after their original die-off. Cages with different biomasses of mussels were placed at different depths in the lake, and their average mortality was measured. In the natural setting, there was no significant difference in the mortality rates of large mussels versus the small mussels. The mortality rates were also measured against the temperature changes of the lake. In general, there was a positive correlation between the rise in temperature and the mortality rates of all zebra mussels. A set of experimental tests took this idea further. Mussel mortality was measured when the temperature of the water was slowly and artificially increased. Starting at 23 degrees Celsius and adding 1 degree daily, mussels were only able to survive for a maximum of 16 days with the highest temperature at 33 degrees Celsius or 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Smaller mussels were able to survive longer than the larger mussels. Another study where rapid increase in temperature versus mortality rates was also measured. The temperature was increased from 22 degrees to 27 degrees Celsius in 12 hours. The temperature remained at around 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit for the remainder of the study. All of the mussels died after 23 days of exposure. Zebra mussels die off quickly when the temperatures of their surroundings are raised for extended periods of time. Both of these experimental tests provide evidence that contradicts previous testing. Before, it was believed that the maximum temperature that zebra mussels could survive in was 30 degrees Celsius. However, all of these tests were performed in a laboratory setting where the mussels were fed ideal diets. Jeffrey D. White and his team of scientists, on the other hand, conducted their tests using the natural habitat of these mussels. In their natural setting, with natural feeding, zebra mussels died at temperatures less than 30 degrees Celsius. This indicates that in the summer months of many southern states, natural die-offs are expected due to the ability of water to reach higher temperatures. Yet, the conditions for growth and recovery throughout the year in these southern states may be ideal for zebra mussels. In northern states where zebra mussels are more prominent, the water temperatures usually don't reach the tested lethal temperature for zebra mussels. Nonetheless, if these temperatures are reached during the summer months for significant mussel death, the mussels would have a lower recovery rate. The cooler temperatures of the northern states throughout the rest of the year would not allow for proper zebra mussel growth. In conclusion, this study may have provided the important link to climate change and zebra mussel population growth. Due to climate change, water temperatures are on the rise. Although climate change may negatively impact many ecosystems, it could potentially hold the key to eradication of zebra mussels in North America. If the temperatures of northern waters continue to rise, then it is possible that lethal temperatures may be reached in the summer months. The die-offs of zebra mussels in the north may become more rapid and frequent. If the temperatures of the water remain below ideal conditions in the winter months, then the recovery of zebra mussels would still be hindered. In the southern states, where zebra mussels are starting to become a problem, the rise in temperatures of summer months would continue to rapidly kill off populations of zebra mussels. If the temperatures rise throughout the rest of the year, the recovery of the mussels could be reduced. Zebra mussels have invaded North America and are harming freshwater ecosystems. Efforts to eradicate these mussels are failing, and zebra mussels are still expanding their habitats. Global climate change may be central to finding a solution to contain and possibly remove the populations of these zebra mussels.